Made it jump 137, pot whipping deuces.
Hey everybody, my name is Wyatt and I'm Ferda Tunes, and today we got the 50 best albums of the year! This is always like the most anticipated video of the year. So obviously 50 is a big number and I like to talk about albums, so let's waste no more time. Unfortunately, there are albums this year that were on my list that I just couldn't get to. I'm not a fucking machine, I'm not Anthony Fantano, so I'll just leave a list in the description of albums that I wanted to get to, that I was like interested in, but I just didn't find the time to, unfortunately. So as I forgot to mention in the last list video, which was the 50 best singles of the year, you should check that out if you missed it. I normally do a EPs and mixtapes list as well, but I just couldn't really find the time or motivation to get that list together and make it a whole thing. So here's just a quick shout out to all the EPs and mixtapes that I really liked this year. And of course, a moment of silence for our fallen soldiers. Run the honorable mentions, please.
Let's go to the beach, each, let's go get away. They say what they gonna say. Have a drink, clink, found a Bud Light. Bet like me, it's hard to come by. The Patron, let's go get it.
Woo! And let's get into it. Starting at number 51, it's Kick 5 by Arca. Bro, I just had to slip it. I couldn't just put it in the honorable mentions. I just had to fit it in the list somewhere. It's too good for just an honorable mention, you know what I mean? So starting the actual list with number 50, Black Country New Road's debut album For the First Time, followed by Star-Crossed by Casey Musgraves. Didn't really meet my expectations, but I just love her so much. There's just, I do enjoy it. Number 48 is the humongous Pool by Ski Mask, followed by A Tiny House in Secret Speeches Polar Equals by Sweet Trip. Dumbass album name, and it's a very messy but still a pretty great album. Number 46 is the very soft Shade from Grouper, followed by For Those I Love by For Those I Love. This was a wild card and a half. I did not expect to like this as much as I did, but wow, when it clicked, holy lord, no looking back. Number 44 is Mirrors by DJ Seinfeld, followed by Igloo Ghost, Lee Line Eon? That was something else for real. Followed by number 42. If you told me Billie Eilish was gonna make the album of the year list last year, I would have laughed in your face. But Happier Than Ever is just a trillion times better than anything she's done. I'm sorry, like, I was not a fan of her last. Wow, this album impressed the hell out of me. Number 41, Ransom and Rome Streets link up for Coup de Grace. I'm probably saying that like the dumbass I am, but just an absolute bar fest. Followed by Montero, debut album from Lil Nas X, flashy, versatile. It was just a great debut, like couldn't complain about it really at all. Number 39 is Sky Zoo with All the Brilliant Things, just one of those rap albums that feels like a tribute to classic hip hop. You just can't really go wrong with this one. Number 38, Makami came just at the tail end of the year with a little surprise album, Balance Cho. Genuinely unfair how good this album is for just being a little treat at the end of the year. Number 37 is Madlib with Sound Ancestors, and I know it's not technically, but it always felt like a Fortet collab album to me because he arranged and composed it, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, what a oddball, spacey, amazing instrumental hip-hop record. Number 36, Isaiah Rashad never fails to bring the best ball-up tracks of the year whenever he releases, and The House is Burning was pretty great. Number 35, we got Czarface linking back up with the late great MF Doom for Super What, followed by Injury Reserve by the time I get to Phoenix. I didn't really see this album as the full-blown masterpiece that most people did, but wow, it's still one of the most perplexing hip-hop albums I've ever heard. Number 33 is Planet Her by Doja Cat. Just sexy music. Number 32 is A Whole Lotta Red by Playboi Carti. Man, I just couldn't help it. I know it came out on Christmas last year, but if you saw my last video, I cleared that all up. I'm not doing these list videos after Christmas. You're chopped. Like, I'm not doing that, bro. Number 31 is the most underrated ambient album, period. The Blue of Distance by Elori Saxel. If you want an album that just takes you to the deepest depth of the ocean, look no further. Number 30 is Ye Old Faithful, Blade with The Fool. I did a reaction video, of course. You can check that out here. Just such an infectious, fun banger album. Number 29 is the very understated but very satisfying Vince Staples by Vince Staples. 28, another wild card I would have never heard of if it wasn't for the internet and Rate Your Music, but To See the Next Part of the Dream by Parannoul. Number 27 is Tyron by Slow Tie. Wow, I cannot believe the creativity bled into this super short, tight, just stellar rap album. What a fucking sophomore. Number 26 is Haram by Armand Hammer and The Alchemist. Oh, speechless about this album, really. Like, number 25 is my boy Maxo Cream, Weight of the World. I did a video on Maxo Cream just before this album came out. You can check it out here to see the hype, because man, I just love this guy and he just can't stop getting better. Number 24 is Kick 2 by Arca. Y'all know, like, I did a lot of Arca videos. There's the Kick 2 one, go check it out. A lot to say about this one, but god, it was just the perfect sequel to Kick 1. Number 23 is Naked Flames with 24/7 365. Just maybe the most immersive album I heard this year. It's like EDM video game music. Odyssey. Could not get enough of this one. Was blown away every time I even thought of coming back to it. Number 22 is Rome Streets and DJ Muggs with Death and the Magician. Rome just sounds as hungry as I've ever heard him, spazzing every single verse. DJ Muggs, give him some of the best beats I heard this year. It's just honestly one of the best and most underrated rap collab albums we've got in a few years in my eyes. Number 21 is Kick 4. I just dropped this video. You can check it out here. Had a lot to say. God, I just couldn't believe how immersive and emotional these soundscapes are, as well as how much Arca's sound and presence on a track has been progressed to this point, and it's just on full display here. It's great. Number 20 is Promises by Floating Points with Pharoah Sanders and a London Symphony Orchestra something. This was also very immersive, just experience type, sit down and front to back, this shit will take you away. Jazz, minimalism, gorgeousness. Number 19 is LP by JPEG Mafia. Just an experimental, all over the place, hectic, boombastic, crazy rap album. Just so many highlights here that just dig into your brain. Definitely his best album in a while in my eyes. Number 18 is Ross from Friends with Tread. I've been enjoying this guy's stuff for quite a few years now, and wow, the more I listen to this, the more I was just blown away. He just keeps getting better. Number 17 is Ka with A Martyr's Reward. Just kind of more of the same stuff from Ka, but also just like a career-defining album from him, honestly. It takes everything that's been good about his last few projects and just fleshes them out into one big, just late-night, harrowing, fantastic rap album. Number 16 is Smiling with No Teeth by Genesis Owusu, an album I wasn't really sure about at first, but the more I listened, the more it was like, oh wow, this is so good. Extremely versatile genre-wise, and the fact that this is his debut album really shocked me. Number 15 is Spelling with The Turning Wheel. I don't think that's how you're supposed to pronounce her name, but fuck it, there's an extra L. Big old 10 out of 10 from Fantano, and I was like, oh, I have to check it out now. And I didn't like it much at first, but wow, this is an awe-inspiring, very theatrical album. Number 14, Boldy James and Alchemist link up yet again for another phenomenal rap album. Topping themselves? Maybe? I think so. Bo Jackson. Oh my lord. Number 13, Magdalena Bay comes through with their debut album, Mercurial World. Just a synth pop banger odyssey that just flows better than I think any album I heard this year. The album loops into itself, which is always cool, but it's done in such a creative way. I can't recommend this album enough for anyone into pop music, electronic music, dance music. Oh, it's just so much fun. Number 12 is 30 by Adele. There was like one, maybe two songs that I was like on. Everything else here is magnum opus level songs to me for Adele. I mentioned in the last list video, like, I've always liked Adele, but her last two albums have just taken her to a completely new level for me, and this album was just easily one of, if not the most emotionally potent albums of the year. Number 11 is Pray for Haiti by Makami. I did a video just before this came out on Makami, and wow, this album just never left rotation. Every time I returned to it, I was just blown away by how tight, concise, and all killer, no filler this album is. The Griselda link up was the best thing to happen in rap this year, probably. Number 10 is The Color Blue by Blue. He did not need to do anything after the fantastic double album he did with Exile last year, but he comes through with maybe his most personal and revealing album yet. Very tight and a very interesting and fun concept. But the sample work on this album might be the most flashy and impressive I've ever heard in hip-hop. Bro, they got the Beatles on here, Electric Light Orchestra, Four Freshmen, like countless samples that are literally just like, how the fuck did y'all even clear this? And Blue remains rap-wise at the top of his game. I'm ready to say Blue might be the most underrated rapper in history to me right now. Number 9, another underrated king, GOAT! Hitler Wears Hermes 8 by Westside Gunn, and I know it's a double album. He said it was one album. I don't give a fuck. I'm counting it as one. Side A and B, both so great. Side B a little bit better, but both, oh my god. God, he just brought everything he could. It's crazy to say because like Fly God and Supreme Clientele are still masterpieces, but this is a magnum opus, like almost 2 hours worth of music following pretty much the same formula he's been following all of last decade. But the fact he just keeps upping the quality just keeps him at the forefront and keeps him shooting up on my all-time rappers list. Dude, Westside Gunn is unstoppable. Dude is making history right in front of our eyes. I also reacted to both sides of this album, so you can check it out there to see a bit of what the hype is about, because wow. Number 8 is Tyler, the Creator with Call Me If You Get Lost. The kind of mixtape style album worked really well, and it was just so much fun, so many twists and turns, some that worked better than others, but all around this was just another flashy, extravagant, just roller coaster ride of an album from Tyler, the Creator. Number 7 is Kick 3 by Arca. Fuck. You can check out the reaction there. I lost a lot of brain cells listening to this, but wow. Easily the most in-your-face album I heard this year, but oh my god, it's just an electronic odyssey. I keep saying that word now, I don't know why, but so many sounds and areas of electronic music covered on all of the Kick albums Arca dropped this year, but this one especially, just an absolute showstopper. Incredibly impressive stuff. Number 6 is the messiest album I heard this year, the messiest album rollout I watched this year. One of those albums that is great, but it is frustrating because it could be better. But Donda by Kanye West, I can't help it because, yes, this album is a mess and a half, but the songs here, aside from like maybe 3 or 4, there's like fucking 30 songs. But the highs that are on this album are more than enough for me to justify putting it in the top 10. It's crazy to me to say after going through my whole Kanye stan phase in high school and everything, and still, I've always loved him, but he dropped some of his best songs ever on this album. How? Again, yes, it is frustratingly messy, but the highs are just god tier music, literally. Number 5 is maybe the biggest wild card this year, but wow. I had always heard about this artist and I've always wanted to dive into his stuff, but something about this album just told me to check it out. And oh my god, Little Ugly Mane, Volcanic Bird Enemy, and The Voiced Concern. This is one of the most creative and genre-bending albums I think I've ever heard. It's very all over the place, and the album could definitely flow from track to track a little better, but again, every single song here is just top-notch creativity, depressive comfortism, The ideas and the execution on this album is just genuinely unbelievable. Like, I'm running out of adjectives here to describe this amazing fucking music. If you're looking for an album that'll like weird you out as much as it will intrigue you and pull you in song for song, just dive into this one. Just try it out front to back. I also should have mentioned this is like the definition of a going down the rabbit hole type of album. Once fall started turning into winter, this album had a chokehold on me. Literally could not stop listening to it every single day. Number 4 is An Evening with Silk Sonic by Silk Sonic. Like, really? Really? These guys couldn't have delivered much better, honestly. Just easily the tightest album of the year, and every single song here just living up to or exceeding expectations. The perfectly executed throwback sound on here just honestly made my whole month when it dropped, and I don't see it ever leaving my rotation, to be honest. Just so many songs here that just feel like instant classics. Number 3 is Jubilee by Japanese Breakfast. I did a video on this one as well, another wild card, and I made that video because I just couldn't help but let out my thoughts on this album. Another one I was just helplessly addicted to. One of the most creative and impressive albums I've heard in a while. Every track just oozing with imaginative ideas and a plethora of genre bending as well throughout. Indie rock, synth pop, chamber music, down-tempo even. Like, there's hints of everything all over the songs here. It is short and sweet, but it is such an eye-opening and awe-inspiring ride. Can't recommend this one enough. Again, check out the video if you want to see my full thoughts on it, because I just was so blown away by this album, bottom line. Number 2, we got the rap album of the year, baby! Little Simz, Sometimes I Might Be Introvert. She comes through with one of the most grand and most triumphant rap albums I've ever heard. Just every corner filled with creativity and personality. She manages to fit what feels like an entire lifetime into a phenomenal collection of very diverse tracks, making this whole experience feel like a movie. Like, really like a movie. Right from the grand orchestral intro to the soft lullaby-like ending, there are twists and turns that show Simz flaunting her God-given talent and bringing everything she's got to the forefront in the most extravagant way possible. This is the masterpiece that I think we were all waiting for Simz to drop, and as high as expectations could have ever been, I don't think anyone would disagree when I say she blew that shit out of the water. Now, before I get to number 1, I don't think it's much of a surprise what it is, but I'm still gonna just tease y'all a little bit. Now, last year, when I did the best singles of the year list, this artist... I'll just show y'all what I had to say. Really, all 3 singles he dropped this year were phenomenal. And man, I thought we were getting that fucking album this year. Porter, for fuck's sakes, please! I need it. I was begging. And we got it. Oh, I could just... Yeah. Porter Robinson, Nurture. Oh, how did it begin? Obviously, I mentioned this is one of the most highly anticipated albums like ever for me, but oh my god, like, I never expected him to deliver this fucking great. Now, I also made a video on this album, so if you really want to hear all my full thoughts, go check that out. That was the first in my experience with series. There is no way in hell that I could have asked for a better follow-up to Worlds. I've been saying it since like the first week I heard it. This genuinely might be the most colorful and uplifting album I've ever heard, and I honestly don't think it really comes close. I know the whole like festival EDM type of sound isn't gonna work for everyone, but that's not all this album is, not even close. And it is just such a triumphant, overcoming everything you possibly could in your life and celebrating the feeling you have now type of album. Like, I could talk about this one for fucking ever, and that's why I did the video on it. Y'all gotta check out the video, man. Like, I was just so floored. Blown away is an understatement and a half for this album. I just can't. Electronic album of the decade easily so far, and honestly, I don't know if this will be topped for me. Porter Robinson, love you, So happy for you. Just, I've never had an album that just fulfills me so much just by listening to it. Makes me so much more happy and hopeful. It is just an absolute EDM masterpiece. Oh, I'll shut up because, like, God, just, again, go check out the video. Like, I'm gonna stand here like an idiot for the next hour if I just keep going. So, that is the list. Oh my God, the relief I feel is just something else. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you want to see what I typically do, I normally do 4 list videos, 1 wild card, 1 with the EPs and mixtapes, songs and albums, of course. Go check out last year's list videos if you're interested at all. I really put the most work into any videos, I think. But yeah, I love doing these lists as much as they are hard to like pin down and format all the lists. It's just so fulfilling. I love it. I hope y'all enjoy it too. Please let me know what you agree with, disagree with. Drop your lists in the comments. Like, I'd love to see them. Genuinely, and just tell me, you know, anything I missed, anything you agree with, heavy, you know, all of that. Let's just talk in the comments about the amazing music we got this year. Join the Discord down below. We're talking music in there all damn day, every day. It's just a great community. Ferda for life, you know, we in there like swimwear, as I say, you know what I'm saying? Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. I don't think I forgot to say anything, so yeah, that's the end of the video. Yo, I'm great at this, aren't I? Much love, y'all. Again, I can't thank you enough for everything that has come to Ferda Tunes this year. Just, amazing. Much love. We'll see you in the next year. I am gonna take just a good couple days off for Christmas and everything and just relax, because these last few weeks have been catching up and oh my God, I just need a little break. I love y'all. I'll be in the Discord. I'll be on social media, of course. If you want to reach me, come talk to me. Join the Discord and we'll talk. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Merry Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever you're celebrating. I just hope y'all have a good time. I hope everyone's family is safe and healthy and just has a great holiday season. Much love.